What you're seeing in voting rights across the country at the moment is a real divide between Republican and Democratic states. In Republican states, you've seen 17 states pass 28 laws. Generally, advocates are saying making voting rights harder and restricting access to voting. Whereas in a lot of Democratic states or Democratic-controlled states, you're seeing voting rights access be expanded. In states like California and New York, certain reforms are going in place in historically restricted places that are now becoming easier for, say, vote by mail, for instance, in New York. Whereas states like Texas, Arizona, Georgia, Florida, Wyoming, Utah have passed laws that have restricted access to, say, on policy, say, so-called ballot harvesting, or restricting Sunday voting, or making it harder to access things like resources in line as you wait in states like Georgia, restricting early voting periods. In light of the 2020 election and seeing the aftermath of that, both parties have started to see voting as the big issue that is necessary to their coalition's political success. In general, this has become a big thing for Republican states across the country, but where this has become like the biggest issue for Republican state legislatures is in states that are highly contested or where President Joe Biden won. So for instance, the most recent bout of voting laws were passed in Georgia, in Arizona, two states that President Joe Biden won, but have been for a very long time historically Republican or conservative. States like Florida, where President Donald Trump won, and Texas, similarly. But where the margin wasn't a little too close for comfort, shall we say, for Republicans. That's an area where Republicans have decided that they're going to really look into creating election security laws that many advocates argue would restrict the right to vote and voting access. When voters feel like their right is being taken away, you could actually have the opposite effect of what these laws may intend, where suddenly turnout may increase. But it is unlikely at the moment that these laws are going to get overturned before the midterms or the 2024 presidential election. How advocates on the ground and voting rights activists like mobilize people, it might have an effect, but it might not have necessarily the effect that Republican lawmakers passing these laws are thinking.